I have like 2 other songs that I've written so far, so I'm up to 3 for the new album. So we'll see. The goal is to have an album released by late fall. So we shall see what happens. We are live now. Okay. All right. So I didn't get by halfway through this chapter. So this chapter is totally talking about one of his friends just sent me a message. Um um so about halfway through this, I got about halfway through this. Maybe. I made it to page 201, okay?
I don't know what that means.
You don't page 201, that's where I made it.
I was listening to it. Oh.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have the yeah. So I made it to the exercise called the Violet Shockwave, and that's about where I made it. But I know he in this chapter he's talking about hexing and cursing and like, the little irritation ones. What do you call those? Annoyances. I think that's what he called them.
Minor inconveniences.
Yeah. He brings up some of the old school, the original Wicca before Buckland and Cunningham, the Gardenian Wicca, which is where a lot of your sex magic comes from. Just saying.
The what? The sex?
The Gardenian Wicca, yeah.
That word I'm not supposed to bring up.
You're fine, Terry.
Look, I wasn't going to do it again, so I just let you do
If
it.
there's a person that comes in here, I'm like, hey, hold on. All right, that's what I will say. I will be like, person.
I thought you were at home that day, so
No, I'll be here every Wednesday until Kaya's in a different belt color.
I get you.
Yeah. One of the parts I noticed in on page 191 is in the first paragraph, right at the end of it, he goes, as beautiful and as aspiring as that is, it's also quite clearly shows more, even if perhaps well intended, toward the Disneyfication of the craft. So like he gets irritated towards the end of it, of modern witchcraft, and calls it like Disneyfied. In other words, like Disney got a hold of it and made it all fucking fancy. And I kind of agree. What do you guys think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Who made it fancy? I'm sorry, I was doing something and got lost.
The Disney Channel.
Oh, the Disney Channel. Oh yeah, there.
Yeah, no. So like I think I remember when I was a kid, I know there was other movies out and stuff like that that talked about, witchcraft, but like back in the day, like in the 90s, it was Charmed and The Craft. By the way, The Craft 2 is actually pretty fucking good.
Really?
Yeah. And then there was Practical Magic and there was a couple other ones. But by far my favorites are the Good Witch series because like that was the only series that ever showed true magic without all of the fucking Hollywood attached to it. So I really loved that show. It made the understanding of witchcraft palatable in a realistic manner.
All I could find was Bloomhouse, The Craft Legacy.
You gotta watch the Good Witch series. It's awesome. There's a couple of movies. There's a
I've
few
seen
movies.
all those
Yeah,
What's
twice,
on Hallmark, Terry?
maybe three.
Yeah, they have
The
a few
second
movies and
Craft
they have a whole series. Like there's a whole TV series that goes with all those movies.
with the Good Witch, I've seen all of those.
Yeah, I want to buy all of them, but I can't. It's really hard to find them. Like I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah, they were really expensive on Amazon.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yes. So how do you guys, since we didn't get all the way through this, because he starts talking about Maleficium, and actually I I misinterpreted what he was talking about in this chapter before actually reading this chapter, which it happens when you make a judgment. But I'm starting to think about the book, the Maleficium book, the one they used on the witch trials. So in this chapter, in the beginning of this chapter, he talks about like their practices, like so that there was good practices and bad practices, and it kind of like helped them stand out. Where was it? Where would he say that? Where was it? It came with the law of three, karma, and the Wiccan Reed. I think it was on 191 and 192, 190, 190 and 191, I think is where it is, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's on 190.
Yeah, so okay, he says, I believe to have been its main original purpose to soothe the fears of largely Christian society so that those who identified as witches might be able to creep out from the shadows and stretch a bit more. So basically the threefold law. So basically that's how which is kind of ironic. It's we live by this, a lot of people do live by this rule of karma and the threefold law. Once you put out, you get back three times is whatever. But basically what he's saying here is straight up that this was created. It was created to pacify people who were afraid of witches. So that it seemed like they had some consequences for their actions.
Yep.
How hugely funny. But then the witch trial book that they came up with to hunt witches with, what was it? I can't remember the exact name of it, but it had the word maleficium in it, and I think that book talks about all of the dark arts or the dark things or the defensive things, because he talks about them as defensive, not dark, in this first half of the chapter, as a list for what to look for. He even talks about the suckling of the teat. Do you guys remember that one? I remember what page it was, but I remember what I was reading. I just didn't get all the way through it. Um, oh yeah, they play music loudly on Wednesdays. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you can't, that's cool.
Those are my neat.
Where was it? So he says, let's talk about what Lisa said, because I didn't fully get to read everything. I was like, oh dear, I have so much to catch up on. Um, so what was it? Can someone give me a brief overview while I'm scrolling up to find her question so we can talk about it?
Just asking about the evil eye, like if she can be hexed unintentionally.
Okay.
Yes.
So yes, you can. You absolutely can. In my personal opinion, anyone who has some sort of disdain with you, jealousy of you, um, anything they don't fucking like you. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter on any level. If they are thinking things badly about you, talking badly about you, um, sending thoughts in your direction, all of those have the potential for actually causing distress in your life. They don't necessarily have to whip out a candle or a mirror or whatever the hell they want to create in their own ritual work to cause you strife. Um, and I experienced a lot of this when I had the store right at the end of that last year that I had the store. I experienced a lot of it because there was a lot of people who were very jealous of me. Like they were like, well, she's got this, and they would like fake friendships, come in, try to steal from me, put stores up next to me to like leech off of my success. And then, or even as much as there was a few people that came in and dropped some things in my store intentionally because they couldn't get past the front door, because I'm not a dumbass, and I put up a deflection spell at the front of my door on my store with a mirror and some rue oil. And so there was no way that they were going to get through my door. They had to come into my store to do anything. um, so, and 99% of the people who came through that door didn't even realize that I had a protection spell on the door. Like it was right in front of your face, but people missed it every day. How do you miss a little tiny mirror staring at you? Like, oh, that's random. Why is that there? You know what I mean? Like, but I'm hyper vigilant. I wouldn't have missed it. Um, but yes, absolutely. People can throw things at you in lots of different ways. Have you guys experienced this?
She was also asking, like, how would you do an uncrossing or like a cleanse? I told her about limpias, which is an egg cleanse, and then I also told her about smoke cleansing, especially after like energy that isn't yours, or if you're around negative energy, to just smoke cleanse, and it'll help with that.
Right. And then when you get it, like for me personally, when I know that there's people really messing with my energy, I use mirrors. I'm a returner. I will straight send your shit right back to you.
Well, I'm gonna do it, even though I just didn't even think. I knew somebody was a narcissist. I mean, there's a couple of them.
I'm a walking deflection anyways. But I tend to transmute energy that comes at me in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter what it is. I tend to grab a hold of it and transmute it without letting it brew too long. But if it's something really screwed up, I will straight set up a mirror and bounce that shit right back at you.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
I mean, if you're gonna send it, like, then you're ready to get it back. And he talks about that in the book quite a bit, actually, when it came to stuff. What? This is yours. Robin wanted to know if you wanted a stuffed animal. So she has this big bulldog for you. The lady I'm fixing the horse with. So I get about a half an hour so you can sit and chill. But yeah, so I will absolutely do that. There's a lot of different ways that you can reverse a spell. I just like mirrors because it's easier to use. It's one of the easiest ways.
Was there sorry, I wanted to ask, was there a Twilight tribe before with like protections and uncrossings?
Say that again?
Was there a Twilight tribe with protections and crossings where you guys talk about that and uncrossing?
No, we didn't. But we're gonna have a meet and greet this week, so maybe we can talk about or Saturday. Maybe we can talk about that on Saturday. Like bring it up as a topic, and we can all just hash it out and talk about different things. Instead of teaching anything, we can just learn from each other because that would be really cool.
Yeah, that would. I would like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he talks about, I love the way he puts it. Where did he say? He says, oh, I can't remember what part of the book it was. He said something about, because he teaches you how to diagnose it using the playing cards, which I thought was really cool. And then he also peeps in with the pendulum and those kinds of things. But he talks about the reality. Like if somebody comes at you and like tries to hurt you, are you just gonna stand there and be like, hey, come beat me up? Like that's not how that works. Like even in reality, like in the mundane, you're gonna defend yourself as a person because why wouldn't you? You don't just let people walk all over you. So magic is like really no different. Which is why I mostly do reversals when it comes to stuff. I have some people in the freezer. I have some people in a jar. like I'm not gonna say I don't because I do. There's like 3 of them in my freezer and 2 of them in a jar. So actually, there's 3 in a jar, and they're not like they're straight containment spells. They're binding spells. The ones I have in the jar. You guys got to remember when you're considering your spell work and the things you do and the stuff you use for your spells, understand what it is you're doing with it. If you're putting someone in a jar, you're containing them from something. So, I use jars for containment spells like bindings because the people who are in the jar are not good people and they don't need to hurt anybody. So, so they can stay in a jar. So but it took me a really long time to make those decisions. It wasn't something I just said, "Oh, I'm gonna do this today." No, it took like months, some of them years before I was like, "This is nope, this he's not gonna stop this." So I had to take care of it. And the first time that I performed a binding containment spell was on one guy who was being a highly abusive human to multiple people who was living in my home and then trying to target me. And this wasn't my ex, but this was somebody he knew. And I saw this and then I decided that after he harmed my animals, I was like, nope, we're good. And I put him in a jar. And then he magically disappeared out of my life for a really long time. And then one day he walked into Walmart, and for whatever reason, the universe collided our paths. So he walked in this way, I was walking this way. We met in the middle. He looked at me and he walked away. So I was like, he's still in a jar. I have had him in a jar for since 2010.
Wow.
I've had someone in a jar since 2004.
Now, I also consider the fact that, I don't want them to harm themselves either. So they just can't hurt other people or themselves. They have to live life without harm. So, and I'm
And
not
without me in it.
right without me in it. And you know, and he did. He disappeared. I have not seen this human since that day at all, ever. Not his family, none of it. None of it. Just poof, gone. The same thing with my ex. Is after my ex was put in the jar, um, the contact stopped. And the last time I saw him was in September, and he was in handcuffs in the courtroom, and he is currently still in jail. So that is not my problem. That is his problem. But he's not bothering me or my children. So, so um, and then the people who talked about me, like, there's a few, I won't name them, but there's a few in my freezer just to shut them up. They'll stay there forever, I think, until my freezer stops working.
That's why I prefer jars.
But I don't like, it's not like I have a whole row of them. There's a few that have like crossed that boundary. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do this. Like, I'm a really nice person until you piss me off, and then I'm not a nice person. Not sorry. So, but yeah, so he talked a lot about that in this book about, not like letting yourself be walked on, and how he views hexing and jinxes and all. Like, what do you guys think the difference is between like, he did explain that a little bit, the differences between jinxes, hexes, and curses.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I would say a hex would be a freezer spell. A jinx would be
like a minor inconvenience.
right. A jinx would be something like inconvenient, like you get a flat tire or some shit, or the annoyances of life fuck you up. And then a curse. I don't. I think I dealt with a curse once, and oddly enough, it migrated because I'm a transmuter. So I was working with my friend, um, Angel. Do you remember the lady who was on book club with us for a little while?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's a really, really powerful Reiki practitioner, like super powerful Reiki practitioner. She's super intuitive. She knew like everything that was going on. And she looked at me and she's the one that pointed out the issues I was having with Brianna, the one lady that was throwing money at me at the store. Um, Oddly, I haven't done anything. Actually, I dealt with her in the dream state. So um, I clearly remember that. But she told me that there was some issue with this one girl who, you remember the lady, I don't know if Jasmine remembers, but probably not. But there was a lady who had opened the store down on the other side of Nova. Okay, and Jasmine knows who Nova is, so I hope you kind of know this story. So it was Raven. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but
So I
okay.
don't think so.
So this lady came to me directly, to not to anybody else, but to me, and wanted to open up a store on the end. And she was like, "I'm gonna do this," and then we're like, I talked to Nova about it because we wanted to make sure that we were all gonna get along, right? And then we were all gonna sell like their our own shit. And so she came in under false pretenses and then opened up a store that was identical to the both of our shops. Like she combined both of our shops together and then opened a shop to steal all of our customers. And then during the whole process, she was like using my Facebook page and my following and all of the other things. Like she was linking, like she stuck her ass to my ass pretty much to suck everything I could off of me, right? And so when I would not play along at a certain point, um, I think at that point she sends some fucked up shit at me. And I started to get really depressed and I started having a lot of problems. And I had a cleansing with Angel. And whatever the fuck this lady put on me, Angel took off of me and then absorbed it into herself. And then she got fucking sick really bad. And then had to go see her Reiki practitioner to remove the whatever it was. But and then she came back to me a few weeks later and she told me that Raven chick is not good. Like not good. You know what I mean? And like yeah. So I think only one time that's ever happened to me as far as curses go. Um but I didn't know, which was I thought was weird. So I'm not gonna say that Raven's not powerful because she absolutely fucking is. But I think that was the only time I've ever been cursed. So yeah. Oh, Sharon says hi. She's happy with her new stuffed animal.
Looks like it.
Terry says cute hat. But yeah, no. What do you guys think about, I'm just getting into the breaking the curses part. So like what did you guys think about who finished the rest of the chapter?
I listened to the whole thing today.
Shannon's like me. How was it? Like I will read it, but like what
It's
is there
good.
anything in the other side of it that I haven't seen from page 120 or 201 on that you
Well,
guys want to chat about?
he talks about more about righteousness, about not doing it as revenge, but as justice,
Mhm.
if you're
Right,
going to
right.
do it. And he has some rules, his personal rules that he shared with us. There are 5 of them that, do it for justice, but never revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Wait at least 3 days between deciding to throw a curse and actually performing it.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can make sure it's not for revenge. Be free of the quality on which you're focusing in your target, so don't be a hypocrite. Make sure the punishment fits the crime
Right.
and give them an out.
I don't have an out for the 3 in the jar.
This means that the curse is a means to a greater end.
I don't have an out for the 3 in the jar.
The
The
ones
3 in
that
the
I
jar.
use are
I don't think, okay, so my justification is that they have no empathy, they have no emotions, they have no desire to consider human life. So they'll stay in the jar.
He says that end must be the correction of the overall problem or some level of restitution.
Then staying in the jar is restitution.
Yep. Well, those are his rules.
I think everybody's gonna have to make their own rules at some point because like your ethics are your ethics. And that when it comes to magic, your ethics are your ethics. If you have shitty ethics, then you're gonna do shitty things with your magic. If you have good ethics and good morals, then you'll do good things with your magic. It just depends on the person. For me,
Mm-hmm.
I think people who are psychopaths and sociopaths who have no zero interest in life outside of themselves, being stuck in a jar is okay because that means you can't hurt anybody. And the rest of society will thank me for it.
He also says there's one emotion more potent than others, most vulnerable to the dark powers of a curse, and that's guilt. If we're harboring feelings of guilt, then this is like a hole in our natural psychic armor. It's
It's a
what often gets
huge shadow.
exploited in a hex or a curse.
It's a huge shadow to face. That's a big shadow thing. And like if you're talking about the Gnosticism side of that,
Mm-hmm.
guilt is what traps you in your own personal hell anyways. And that is why you can't remove yourself from that guilt until you face that guilt, which is the process of going up the ladder with Lucifer, which I thought was
Says
amazing.
purification work is essential to our magical survival.
Yes, yes. So if you get a hex on you or you curses are a little harder to break. But you can generally cleanse yourself of some nuisance stuff. But curses, if they're done in a very fucked up way, those are gonna take a little longer. I've had a lot of people come to me about, how do I know if I have a curse on me and stuff, and I've struggled to like help people figure that out, to be perfectly honest with you, because I don't know their life, so I don't know if someone's been cursed.
egg cleanses. Lymphias can tell you.
What?
Like there's Lymphias from the egg cleanses. Sorry, I don't know why it's so low. They can tell you if you've been egg.
Those are hoodoo. That's used in hoodoo a lot, correct?
Olympia is used in Mexican culture. I think I'm not really sure where it dates back to. I have to look more, but probably more brujeria.
Well, I know the Mexican culture uses it a lot, but I also think it's because the Mexican culture is highly Catholic. So and hoodoo is highly Catholic. So I
I'm
think
not
it's
sure.
a hoodoo practice, to be honest with you. So, because
I'd have to look more into it.
yeah, I have not done too many egg cleansings like that. Like I don't know how to read the yolks. I haven't taken any time to learn how to do that kind of divinity. I do use eggs in cleansing, but I use them more for chakra cleansing because I use eggs to release the stagnation inside of a chakra pool to pull the energy out and house it inside of like the stuck energy and house it inside of the egg. And then I bury the eggs whole. I don't crack
Crack 'em?
them open because
Yeah.
because when you're working with the chakras, you're working with each layer of your own personal trauma. And a lot of chakra work has a lot to do with shadow work too. So pulling out the plug from a chakra to let all of the level ooze out is often toxic. So burying it is what I do to, give the earth back the here, you take it.
That's so interesting because if you think about it, the Olympia is with water. So you have water and earth. I wonder if there's like
Hmm.
other elements.
I've been like accustomed to making my own shit up though, because that's just
It makes sense, like give it back to the earth.
I mean it's a vessel, so I utilize it. So that's what's great about witchcraft is you don't have to follow someone else's traditions. You don't have to follow someone else's directions. You can literally pull some shit out of your ass and fucking make it work. And that's what I really love about it because that gives me ultimate freedom to be and practice how I want. And if someone goes, "Oh, that came from this," then intuitively I knew it was somewhere. Maybe a past life remembers it. I don't know.
Well, it's just personal to you. And that's
Right, but we carry our past lives with us and not realize it. Like a lot of us don't realize our past lives. We just like I have so many skills, so many talents, so many different things. There's no fucking way I learned that all in one lifetime.
right.
There's no way. There's just no fucking way. And like to not do like when I went to ceramics class and I put together my ceramics and I did them and people looked at me like, "What did you do this before?" I'm like, "No, this is my first time in this class." How the fuck did I know how to make fucking ceramics? How the hell did I know how to use a wheel? How the fuck did I know how to carve and put slip in properly? Like all of that shit came natural, like just naturally.
That was fun, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah,
Uh,
it was
yeah.
great, but like I didn't fucking like I didn't have any classes. I was the first class I ever took in it. And I did amazing and people were all pissed off because my shit looked nice. And I was like, sorry, what do you want from me? Yeah. But I do
Called
that,
talent.
huh?
Called talent, right?
But it's across the board. It's wherever I put my attention to or focus in, I can create from whatever. I
Have
mean,
you guys read Journey of Souls or any of Dolores Cannon in book club?
no, but you should put some of those in our book club chat because I would probably like to look into some of those.
She uses what is it, hypnotherapy to get people to look into their past lives and records what they say. And a lot of them, like the way they go backwards is the same. So
That's
it's really
cool.
cool. Yeah,
I think that
I'll
that
send it
would
to you.
be a great thing to put into book club so because it all works in what we're doing anyways, but we definitely carry a lot of past life stuff with us that we don't consciously know.
Yeah, I'm interested in that too.
Yeah, definitely, Jasmine, add some of that to the book club chat because I think we're yes. Yes, please.
I know.
Please.
Okay, I will.
All right, we're rolling at 8 o'clock, and this book is pretty much finished, y'all. We have what the appendix. What do we want to do for next week? Do we want to meet and talk about this book some more? Do we want to go through something else in here? Some of the rites, maybe read some or talk about some of the poetry. Do we want to just kind of go through the end of this book and then meet next week and like close out the book and then we'll have our our intercession the week after.
Yeah.
Well, we've already done Appendix 1. We did that first.
Right.
Yeah.
So do we just want to look through what's left of it and then meet next week and just have a chat and catch up where we missed off, talk about some other topics in here? And then
Sure.
the week after we'll have our intercession. I gotta order that freaking book.
Uh-oh.
Mom,
I got a couple things to order. What?
can I please play the video games till 9:30?
I don't think so.
I really want to play with Adrian.
I don't think so. Not right now. All right, well, ladies, I'm gonna have to get out of here because I gotta get home
Okay.
and ready for bed and all this other stuff. So I gotta be up at 4 a.m.
Okay. Good night, honeys.
But
Bye. See you next
Shannon,
week.
can you post that? Bye, Jasmine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll meet next week and y'all have a good night.
You too.
You too.